Bell was able to get the win against Vences back in June of 2019. That's when Tyson Fury fought Tom Schwartz in the main event for the lineal heavyweight championship. And Bell won on all three scorecards, 97-93.
Mark Bernaldez has the task of trying to get inside the reach of Albert Bell tonight. Bernaldez is physical, doesn't mess around, he doesn't like to box, he likes to fight. And Albert Bell is a good young fighter, creeping closer to a world title shot if he keeps winning. But he comes from a place in the Midwest, Ohio, Toledo to be exact, where I've witnessed personally a lot of young fighters not make it out. He's here tonight, but now he's got to continue to show that he's got world-class potential.
Tim, he is long and he is wiry at 6 foot tall for a junior lightweight, so he has 6-inch height advantage, 6-inch reach advantage, 73-inch reach on that 6 foot frame, Tim.
Yeah, Tess, and that's why you want to use all of that height and all of that range. And that's why you see Bell moving and trying to keep distance from Bernaldez. No, I was going to say I like the beginning parts of when I was fighting. I used to love the beginning parts of the fight because these are the times where you can set traps on your opponent.
Stop.
You might drop your left hand. I would drop my left hand just to get a right hand to come over the top of it, and then I will be waiting on my own counter. I will counter his shot. That's being smart, and that's controlling your opponent and getting him to do what you want him to do.
It's interesting to hear you discuss how you view the early stages of a fight, what you were looking for. Ray, what was your approach?
Well, I wasn't giving up any free shots. I wasn't sticking my chin out like Timmy, telling him to hit me and then trying to counter. My whole thing was control. I wanted to establish whose ring this was, at what pace the fight was going to be fought at, and at what range. Sometimes it takes a couple rounds, especially when you're fighting, you know, top opposition, but eventually we would get there, and the rest would be history.
Yeah, and that history always ended the same way. Coming to the end of round number one here, as Albert Bell, 16-0. The spotlight, Jumbo in the back. You can see some of the constant tweets from the boxing intelligentsia. Of course, boxing Twitter is never bashful about sharing an opinion, are they?
At the end of that round, you heard the trainer of Bernaldez saying jab down to the body. That can sometimes be dangerous. I know we talk about it a lot. You know, you have to squat down in front of your man. See, just like that right there, just as he was doing it, he got hit with an uppercut and a check left hook. You have to do it at the right distance and also at the right time.
Right now, the chin of Albert Bell is just a little high for me.
I got you.
He's a tall fighter, but that doesn't mean he has to stand tall. He can drop his knees a little bit and make himself longer and get that chin out of the air. As you see right there, Bernaldez just tried to hit it, but more experienced guys will look low. They'll shoot a shot to the body. The whole time they want to come over the top and catch you with a clean shot. He's got to work on that.
And I'll give you young fighters another tip about jabbing down to the body. When you jab down to the body of your opponent, and if he steps back, you don't shoot the power hand over the top. If you jab your opponent to the body and he stays right there, that's when you set up that big shot over the top. As you can see, Bell's not staying there. He's moving.
Stop.
Shot wasn't hard right there from Bernaldez, but it landed. And if you're a coach in the corner of Bell, you have to let him know, make him recognize that, hey, you got hit there, we shook it off, but that could be a problem up the road.
Bernaldez is doing the right thing and trying to get inside, you know, moving his head, moving his feet, trying to make things difficult for Bell, but Bell's just too smooth on his feet.
That's right. It's all right there for you, yeah.
End of 2. You get to see Jared Anderson
Come on, let him go,
next
let him
week.
go.
Big
Step back,
KB, the
step back, let him
heavyweight.
go.
You said that's the fighter you want to see again, and he does come back next week, the heavyweight, the undefeated heavyweight from Toledo.
Yeah, Tess, like I said, I'm excited. You know, that I was raised up watching heavyweight boxing, watching Vander Holyfield, Michael Moore, you know, Riddick Bowe, all these guys. And, you know, those guys are all homegrown. They started from the crib and learning how to box. And, you know, we've had a champion in Deontay Wilder who started boxing late and is no longer a champion. But we have this kid, Jared Anderson, has been boxing from the crib with skills, and he has the size to go along with it. So there's hope for another great American heavyweight.
He's from Toledo, Timmy, and Albert Bell is from Toledo as well. I will challenge you, though, Tim, because you said we may have to do something about the Big Baby nickname. We may well offer Jared Anderson some new nicknames. You know, Lee Groves, the boxing historian, chimed in the other day. He said the problem with the Big Baby nickname is that it doesn't have an infinite shelf life. I mean, at a certain point, you grow up. You're no longer a baby in the sport. He said we go with Jared A-Train Anderson, but we can further that conversation with Jared next week.
Anything, Tess, but Big Baby, please. Anything but that.
Way to work, champ. Way to work.
It's beautiful work right there from Bell. You know, you can just see how calm and how poised Bell is. You know, he knows every avenue of the ring. He knows how to set up his shots. He's setting traps. Right there, he just set up a nice check hook on Bernaldez.
Yeah, that was nice.
Way to work, way to work, way to work.
You know, there's no fans there, so, you know, the fans, most of the time when you have a fighter as smooth and as calm as Bell, they start booing, boo, boo, you know, because he's not getting hit, he's not getting touched. But me, I personally enjoy seeing fighters not getting hit and fighters using the sweet science of boxing in there.
Relax and work, champ. Relax and work. There you go. Relax and work. Stay relaxed. There you go.
Coach telling him to keep doing what he's doing.
Describing it as relaxing work.
Yep.
Albert Bell Sr., Darryl Riley in the corner of the undefeated Albert Bell. Bernaldez only landing 18%.
This is what I'm talking about being relaxed. When you relax and calm and patient, that's the gateway to clarity right here. You see Bell as he stuffs it in a nice little short body shot, makes him miss. Nice body shot right under the arm. And most guys wouldn't see that, but if you're calm, you can see small little punches like that. Great job by Bell.
Let's go to Bernardo.
Osmidi Fernandez, who's working with Mark Bernaldez, told me, look, I know he's long, but we've got to get inside. He's got to use the 1-2 to work his way in and then land that overhand right. And he's moving to his left, so he's got to cut off the ring, and we can't do it with just one shot. He's got to throw 1s and 2s.
Don't hold that hand out.
Even though Bernaldez is starting to pick up the pace a little bit and pick up his feet movement, Albert Bell doesn't have to play that game with him. He's taller, he's longer. He needs to stick that long jab out and control Bernaldez with the jab and let him know that, no, just because you want to pick up the pace doesn't mean I'm going to pick up my pace. That's an experience thing, and he's got to continue to learn that, because some guys are going to take punch after punch, round after round, just to start to wear a guy down, and he's making Bell move probably a little more than he should be right now. But great performance from Bell, but just a little bit too much movement.
There you go.
See, what I like about Bell is that he's not running, he's stepping. He's stepping, you know, short steps. You know, that's a difference between, you know, picking up your feet to me and running around the ring. I understand what you're saying about, you know, he's doing a little bit too much moving. He needs to put more offense on Bernaldez.
I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying that I think Bernaldez just has him moving his feet just a little bit more than he has to right now. That's
right, right. One thing, you know, been a smart fighter, a small fighter my whole life. You know, so I know how to deal with taller fighters, and you know, cutting off the ring is one. You got to try to corral him in the corner like he's cattle, you know, and slowly do it. You know, he's rushing right now, getting ahead of himself, and you see how Bell is just nicely escaping on those exits. Need to slow it down and forget about the head. Hit the body.
He slows it down with the left hand. That's how he slows it down. He slows down the action with the left hand, and he has more control.
Stop.
And therefore, he doesn't have to.
To the criticism that has been heaped upon him in terms of that failed PED and what he put forth as an excuse.
Right, there you go.
As an excuse. Exactly. And we're talking about a person that was convicted 2 other times already. And that's his excuse. He don't understand and know what he's putting in his body. You gotta be kidding me. Like I've said, the severity of this is immense because this is the hurt business. I keep explaining this to people. This isn't baseball. This isn't anything else, you know, baseball or basketball. This is boxing. We go in the ring to hurt one another. Now you have a man on that juicy juice, that King Kong juice, coming into the ring. Yeah, juicy juice, King Kong juice, coming into the ring, swinging for 12 rounds. You know, at the heavyweight division, the most dangerous division in boxing, that's dangerous. Okay, extremely dangerous. He needs to be banned from boxing.
Round 5 here of our co-feature. Bell in control against Bernaldez. To carry on this conversation, Mark Riegel, Big Baby Miller told the Fight Network in continuing and saying, I never willingly took a steroid. He says, hey, did I take something for healing properties, for injuries? Yes, but to win a fight during training camp, no, I've never done that. Your reaction, Mark Riegel.
I don't even remember a denial that shameless in Major League Baseball back in the 90s. You know, I mean, come on, give me a break. Get him out of here. I'm with Timmy. He's jeopardizing other guys' health. And this is the third time he's tested positive. Again, I spoke to a prominent athletic commissioner the other day who said that if Nevada doesn't move to ban him, and a ban means for life, then he will, with the Association of Boxing Officials.
Final minute here of round 5. Albert Bell just keeping at it the same way against Bernaldez. And then, Dre, the other news item we put up there was the plans at 135 pounds in the WBC, and this is something I think would be so attractive for the young, wildly popular prospect Ryan Garcia. You know, Devin Haney right now has been handed the WBC belt, and of course the super fight at 135 pounds would be Lomachenko Lopez. But wouldn't it be nice to see Luke Campbell and Ryan Garcia going at it?
Way to work, champ. Way to work.
Absolutely. I just hope it happens.
Boxing, that's what we do best in this sport. So they go with best fighter, best moment, the prospect, the best fight. Tim, I know you were on the panel there, and I know that Tyson Fury was very well represented. We have seen some fighters in the course of the past month that have gained some traction in terms of people giving them some buzz as to deserving awards and credit.
Mark Bernaldez is following the script, or at least his script for this fight, which is pressure, try to get on the inside of Bell and try to do some damage. But unfortunately, he's facing a fighter who has faster feet, faster hands, and a broader IQ.
Way to work that.
Yeah, but I'm gonna pick on Bell tonight. He can do a lot more. He can do a lot more with his offense, and he's choosing not to. He just wants to be safe. You know, sometimes when you're in the ring, you know, you got to take some chances sometimes. If you want to produce more knockouts, you got to stand there and fight sometimes. You just can't run around the ring. You're going to get in there with somebody that's going to be able to get to you in the inside. Then what are you going to do? What's going to be your response then? He needs to go back and work on his inside game. Get comfortable inside the kitchen, inside the pocket. And that will make him a complete fighter.
I think a young fighter just has to be, he has to recognize certain things, and that's where the coach comes into play, because he sees things that the fighter may not see. He has to let him know that, hey, son, you boxed, you've won every round, you can stand there a little bit. You give him the vision and you give him the courage to do it. And then when you're in the gym, you drill those moments. You can't ask for something that you're not drilling in the gym. So hopefully that's something they're working on, because you're right. As the competition increases, he's going to need to change his game up. And it's something that's in reach. He has the ability, he has the stature, he has the skill. He just has to know that he can do it and work on it in the gym.
Watch your holder now. Watch your holder. Right. Trabajo, trabajo.
See, there's more he can do with that jab. You know, he can come behind with his power shots. He's already got it in the face of Bernaldez. He can do a little bit more.
Right back. Okay. Get another water ready.
7th round. Bernaldez is only landing 17% of his total punches thrown.
And some of the things that I've brought up tonight, they're nitpicky. You can't really argue with a guy that's winning every single round, but great talent has to be challenged. It has to, you have to keep a fighter with great talent reaching for more. You can never let him or allow him to get satisfied. That's the way I was taught, so that's what you hear in my commentary. You give credit where credit is due, but you always point out one or two things that they can work on, because everybody's not going to be like Mark Bernaldez. They're going to be better, and you have to keep that in mind.
And to add to that, Dre, you know, the more reactive, you hear me say reactive, you know, the more reactive you become in the ring, the more violent your offense and defense will become. Let me give you an example. I mean, if you see a lazy jab, you don't have to think about throwing a right hand over the top of it. It should be automatic. As soon as you see the jab, boom, the right hand should be over the top already.
Right.
Well, the beautiful thing for Team Bell is that you have a 6-foot, 73-inch reach, 130-pounder. That's a lot to work with, and he's got a great coach. He's got a family team, and I know they'll go back and keep improving. But great performance tonight, boxing beautifully, not taking a lot of punches, winning every round.
Speaking of Team Bell, Bernardo was listening in.
There you go.
I spoke with his father, Alberto Sr., and I asked him, you know, he's coasting the UX and he's doing well. Is this what you want, or should we expect more? He said, look, we told you in the fighter meetings, we're going to start walking him down right about round 8. So he's going to keep boxing and look for him to put it on him and walk him down after the 7th, 8th round.
We would look forward to that. Coasting to that point for sure right now against the Filipino.
2-3.
But Joe, the walk down or put more pressure on the opponent is actually something that Bell broached. That's the topic he broached to us in the fighter meeting yesterday. Right. That's something that he said that I want to continue to work on. It's something that I have to continue to work on. So it's just a matter of time before he's able to really bite down and start to execute that.
That was very early in the conversation, and you can always get a read as to where fighters are placing their point of emphasis on what they've been working on. And Bell said that's just sitting down on the shots, walking guys down, not just boxing them. He wants to put his combinations together and try to get some finishes on that resume. It's a COVID test to a team member of LePierre, and now they come back at a catch weight of 144 pounds 2 weeks later. That is coming up in moments. Round 8. See if Bell steps it up. been in complete control against Bernaldez.
Continuo.
See, part of the maturation process for a fighter like Bell, who's used to being on the outside, he's used to boxing and just winning on points, and just, you know, hitting and not really getting hit it takes time to get comfortable bumping bodies with another fighter. You can do that in a gym with a t-shirt on, a headgear on, bigger gloves, but it's something different when you're shirtless, smaller gloves, and it's more dangerous. There's more danger at risk.
No doubt about it.
That's beautiful work right there by Bell. Wow. Beautiful combinations. He dropped 2 body shots that came up top. They changing level from Bell.
But he'll learn that after he lands a combination like that, in an 8th round where he's dominated the whole fight, he doesn't have to scurry out of the way and escape. Just put those long arms out there, step to the side, and go back to work.
Gee, Sim, I see they're advertising the Nathan's hot dog eating contest for 4th of July at high noon there at Coney Island. That's right in your wheelhouse, based on watching some of your dinners this week.
Media.
That's, you know, I love those hot dogs now. Come on now, baby. But I like to put mine on the tortilla.
I'm sorry, come again?
I said I like to put mine on the tortilla.
Oh, goodness. What is that, Tim?
Keep flicking. There you go.
Oh, it's delicious.
You know, that sounds like something Tim Bradley
would eat. Don't knock it until you try it now. Don't knock it until you try it.
Tim Bradley. Do what you got to do.
See, there's so many more traps that Bell could set up, but he's just comfortable just coasting. Yes, he's winning the fight. It's pretty easy. You know, he's boxing the brakes off of Bernaldez, but, you know, there's a little bit more. Sometimes you got to take some risks in there. Work on some things that you've been working on in the gym. Try some new things. When it's this easy, you know, test yourself.
And you see Bell thinking that was a great sequence right there. He touched with the right hand, turned a right hook to the body, came back to the head with the right hand. So he's a thinking man's fighter, and he's got a lot of skill.
Cashing in, baby. Cashing in, champ. Cashing in. Yep, cashing in.
Cashing in, champ. Cashing in. Start the 9th round. Mark?
You know, Dre mentioned his physical dimensions. Almost 6 foot tall, 70-inch reach. That's like a type from Toledo. Robert Easter, Sonny Fredrickson we saw the other night, now Albert Bell. Long, lean fighters with great reach, great jabs. He did say he wanted to walk him down tonight. He said, my hands are finally healthy. He knows KOs are money, KOs are eyeballs. He could be doing a little bit more. He's in complete control here. His hands are healthy. Walk him down, try to knock him out. It'll pay dividends.
Well, again, this is a good moment to do it. If you're in the corner of Albert Bell, training and sparring is one thing, but this is where you challenge your fighter. Say, look, stay close. I know you can feel him bumping you. I know it's a little awkward, but remember what we worked on. Go back to the drill. Stay tight, keep your defense up, get your shots off. He can't deal with you. You got to coach him through it, encourage him, and help him to see it before he actually sees it.
Stop.
I love the composure of Bell. I love the fact that he's switching up his attacks. I love the fact that he's throwing feints occasionally, switching the speeds up on his jab. You know, varying his combinations. You know, it's hard to find a fighter's rhythm when he's doing these things. And you can see Bernaldez hasn't even got close to him yet. Look at that
Punch combination and finish with the right hand sweeping across the body.
Way to work, John. Way to work.
Touching him with ease, isn't he, Timmy?
Step onto him a little bit. There you go.
I'm telling you right now, it is so frustrating.
Step to him a little bit.
Bernaldez is so frustrated right now. He can't even get close to him. He's trying to figure out a way to get close to Bell.
Now he's coming to him a little bit.
Just imagine if Bell.
Step him on back out. Step him back.
Yeah, that's stepping to him right there, Joe. I was about to say, imagine if you push a guy back like Bernaldez, who's not used to going back. He wants to come forward. Then he's really going to have some issues, and you see Bell doing that right now.
See, I like this final minute here of round 9 for Bell. That's a good disposition that that's the next step that he's capable of getting to.
Exactly.
Look at that, touching him with that right hand to the body, coming from that long reach, 73-inch reach for a junior lightweight.
There you go. You got to step him back. Step him
Good.
back.
He hurt his hand right there.
Hurt his right hand right
He hurt
there.
his hand right there.
We'll get
He hurt
Bernardo
his
on
hand.
top of that. Clearly hurt his right hand. Looking good. This happens to his right hand.
Landed a clean right hand on the face of Bernaldez, and there you see him pull up. He told us in the fighter meeting that he has brittle hands. He said, my hands are good. I'm excited about coming into a fight healthy, and there you see a setback right there to the hands of Albert Bell.
And he had landed, Timmy, a fight-high 18 connects in that 9th round. Bernardo, what can you tell us?
Albert Bell did confirm. He's like, yes, he did hurt his right hand. But then I said, is he okay? And he's like, look at the fight. He's going to keep throwing it. He's still good.
Trust me, Bell's not going to use that right hand. Let me trust me. He's not going to use that right hand. He's going to beat him down with one hand. That's what he's been hitting. Oh, he just threw the right hand right there.
Behind the
That's the
double
first
jab.
right hand I've seen this round.
There you go. Make it work.
See, as a fighter, especially when you have brittle hands, it's not enough just to ice and rest the hands. You have to rehab the hands. You have to work the hands. Well, how do you do that? You have to get a tennis ball and you have to squeeze it in your spare time. You have to get putty. You have to squeeze it in your spare time. You can get a bucket of rice, Bruce Lee style, and work your hands and your wrist and build up your forearms so your hands are not brittle. Your hands are not made to hit another person's skull. So you got to rehab them in between fights and strengthen the hands so they don't get hurt so easily.
And Dre, did you try all 3 of those at any point?
Yes, constantly. And I wasn't a fighter who had a lot of hand issues, but I would bang a thumb here, I would bang a knuckle there. It's the natural course of things as a fighter. And again, I had a great coach who said, son, build up your wrist, build up your forearms, and build up your hands. Something fighters don't talk about a lot.
He's going to jab his way in for an easy landing here. Final minute of the final round. He wraps it around into a left hook to the body and tripling it up.
Oh, Bell is gifted.
You
Man.
got it. Gracioso. Step with it. Step with it.
Look at how smart that was. He wanted to land a power hand, so what did Bell do? He went into southpaw position to try to land a straight left. Just brilliant work by Bell. Even though he has a hurt hand, he's still figuring out a way to dominate this round.
There you go to work. Way to work. 10 seconds. 10 seconds, champ. 10 seconds. 10 seconds.